All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good afternoon, everyone. And first of all, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Jody Weiler from Great Garment Graphics. I'd like to extend a warm welcome to those of you attending our webinar today, and to make sure you're in the right place, you've attended Online Tools to Help You Order Custom Printing, hosted by Transfer Express. Just a couple housekeeping items. If you have any questions during this presentation, please feel free to type them in, and I will answer them, or actually Andy will answer them, usually at the end of the session. Sometimes there's something relevant during, and then, typically, so just type them in whenever you think of a question, and we'll get those answered for you. Also, if you would like a copy or a PDF of these files, they will be included in the blog post following. So if you check back at Great Garment Graphics, we will have those slides available for you. And I'd also like to tell you about something really exciting that Transfer Express, our sponsor today, and also Stalls ID Direct is hosting on September 12th. It's called the D3 event. There will be more information to come. We know it's in the works, and so I wanted to get the word out about it. It's a design, decorate, and deliver. It's an all-day event with 2 tracks, totally hands-on. You can come, register, and get everything you need to know about the business of heat printing, how to get into the business of heat printing, how to grow your business in heat printing. So definitely keep that on your calendars for September 12th. So presenting today is Andy Curtis from Transfer Express, and just a little background about him. He's been with Transfer Express for more than 10 years. He is actually a dealer services team leader, and also is a great trainer in charge of educating the new sales reps that come in, and also continuing the education for the current reps. So he's definitely, and any of you who've sat in on Transfer Express's webinars before know that Andy is our resident go-to guy. So with that, I would like to hand this over to Andy. Hi, Andy. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, Jody. Thank you for the intro. I appreciate it. And hi, everybody. Thank you for coming out today for Online Tools to Help You Order Custom Printing. It should be a good one today. There's going to be a lot of stuff. If you've joined us before, first of all, thanks for coming back. But if you've joined us before, then you've probably seen maybe some snippets of some of these things that you're going to see today. If you've joined us, you know that I can fly through the website sometimes. So you might have seen bits and pieces, but we're going to actually concentrate on them today. We're going to spend just as much time out on transferexpress.com as we do looking at the presentation, as a matter of fact. So if you have not joined us before, then thank you so much for coming, and we appreciate you joining us for the webinar today. And as Jody said, if you have questions, type them in. I will do my gosh darndest to answer every single one of them, and God forbid if we do get so far and we don't answer a question, then you'll get a personal email after the session is over with the answer to your question. But with that said, we're going to move on, and we're going to talk about what we're exactly going to review today. Just to call it an overview, we're going to review the number calculator for those of you out there who do lots of numbering in terms of uniforms, team uniforms, baseball, football, basketball, soccer, all that stuff. We're going to talk about the number calculator that will make your life easier when you're trying to figure out what you need to order for number packs. We're going to talk about and show you the image resizer. Sometimes we come across customers that they are not algebra experts, believe it or not, and they have a hard time figuring out image resizing, especially if you don't have a computer program in front of you like CorelDRAW or something where you can just whip it up yourself. We've got a great tool for that on our website. We're going to show you a gang sheet calculator, which will explain to you how many you can get on a sheet in terms of gang sheets here at Transfer Express. The star of the show will be the Easy View Online Design Tool. We're going to talk about flyer templates, where if you've joined me before, you've probably heard me talk about that. We're going to discuss the flyer templates again. And then the online videos, which we have quite a library. So before we jump into the website and jump into all of this, though, there are 2 poll questions. I like to get these out of the way here because these help me get to know who is out there listening. So, Jody, if you're there, if you would run that first poll for us.
Absolutely. So our first poll today is, how long have you been in business?
This is always helpful, no matter what the webinar topic. Actually, it's easier for me to know how to gauge the webinar if I know exactly who I'm talking to. If you're all newbies, then there's a whole different set of instructions to talk about.
So let's see, we are going to close. It looks like just about everybody's voted. I'm going to close the poll right now. So it looks like almost 75% have been in business 3 or more years, 17% are just starting, and 9% have been in business about a year or two.
Okay, cool. Well, that means we got a lot of old pros with us, so then I know who to talk to. And for those of you who are a little bit newer, for just starting in a year or so, these will be easy for you to follow as well. And if worse comes to worse, questions are always welcome. So go ahead and do the second poll if you would, Jody.
Yep. I just launched the second poll. What tool do you think you will use the most?
And this is very relevant because then I know which one of these things to go into a little bit more detail about. So all of these tools are great too. They all have their uses, but obviously different people are going to use these in different amounts, and depending on what your business model is and all that good stuff. So this will help me know what to rattle on about.
Okay, it looks like everyone just about has voted. So let me... 61% are interested in the Easy View Designer, 52% with the gang sheet calculator, 35% with the number calculator, about a quarter with the image resizer, and half would love to see the flyers.
Oh, wow, okay. That's funny because we talk about the flyers in a couple of the webinars over the past couple months. So definitely a great tool, and I know it's certainly something that people call and ask the dealer service reps about. So we will definitely talk about the flyers in detail, and Easy View, of course. Easy View is always a fun one to talk about, and there's some neat things coming there. So thank you so much, Jody, for running those polls. And we're going to go ahead and move forward here. So we're going to start with the number calculator. The number calculator, again, is for those of you who are doing teams jerseys of some kind or another. It doesn't matter what the sport is. If you need to do numbers, then our number calculator is made to help you figure out what you need to order. Now, numbers here at Transfer Express, first of all, they're pre-spaced numbers that are sent to you in packs of 5. So, for example, the girl in the top picture here, Caitlin, number 32, if you were making her jersey, you would simply order a pack of 3s and then a pack of 2s. You would take the number 3 and the number 2 from the pack, and then you wouldn't even have to break out a ruler or a T-square or anything. You would just put the 2 pieces of paper next to one another. Since they're pre-spaced, you don't have to do any lining up or anything. You would butt the 2 numbers against each other, and there you have it. There's your 32. So they're easy to apply, but the question is the ordering process. If you have not done a league before, then this is definitely something that once you get your first league or you're quoting your first league, this is a topic that you come across at some point. And it's sort of funny because after so many years here, I never tire of getting those phone calls from screen print shop or embroiderer who says, I've never done this before and I'm not sure how to approach this. And that's what the number calculator is for. The calculator will help you figure out what you need to order if you're doing consecutive numbers like 1 to 20, or of course you're going to get those teams where they just have a random smattering of numbers. Either way, the calculator will help you figure out how many 5-packs you need, or maybe you shouldn't get 5 packs. Maybe you should be getting an express pack, which is 15 of the number 1 and 5 of every other digit. Or maybe you've got so many numbers you need to get a kit. A kit is big enough to number 15 teams, 1 to 15. So the calculator will help you figure out all this great stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to click this link here, and we're going to pop out to the website and give you an example here of the number calculator. Give it a second to load. Okay. So now you'll notice here there are a couple different options right off the bat, depending on where you're at, depending on what you know. If you know exactly how many numbers you need, maybe you actually did the math. Maybe you counted it out. I need 5 number 2s, and 7 number 1s, and 2 number 3s. Then you would click this very first option here. I know how many numbers I need, place order. If you have a list of names and numbers, then will help you figure out how many number kits and how many peel and press letter packs you might need. If you have a number range, meaning 1 to 20, for example, you would use this one here where it says number range. And then digits and characters. Let's go ahead and use the number range one here. I'm going to click Run Calculator. Okay, so now this is for sequentially numbered teams, those teams that, gosh forbid, the coach plans ahead and you don't actually have to do a whole bunch of random numbers. It's just 1 through 15. So let's say the first question it's asking you here is how many teams total. So we're going to say, just picking a number out of the air here, we're going to say you got 6 teams, you got a number. So I'm going to put a number 6 there. There we go. Now it's asking you the starting player number. So what is the start of these sequential numbers? Well, generally teams start with number 1. And the ending player number, we're going to say there's 15 kids per team, so we're going to say 15. Next, it's asking you the number style. This is just helping the website figure out what you're trying to order. So I'm going to click the drop down here, and you'll notice here's all of our number styles that we have currently available. I'm going to choose Champ 1 color. That's our old standby. Now, number size, I'm going to choose 8-inch. Notice we also have 4, 6, and 10-inch. I'm just going to choose 8. And then the drop down here for colors, you see there's a whole selection of colors here. I'm just going to choose white, Champ 8-inch white being our single most popular style here. Now, once I've gotten all those fields filled out, I'm going to click Calculate. So now what the website is showing me is I have a couple options. You'll notice that right across the top here I see packs of 5 digits, express pack, and number kits. The website is showing me those 3 options. So if I scroll down just a little bit more, here we are, I can see that if I were to do 5 packs, I would need to order 31 total packs, and the price would be $51.15. Or I could order 4 express packs, but that price is $72.60. Or I could order 1 number kit, but that price is $88. So clearly, unless I have some need for those extra numbers, and there are those of you out there who stock numbers, so maybe in this case, the difference, $51.15 versus $72.60, maybe you get the express packs and get the extra numbers for the heck of it. Why not? And a little bit above here, where I sort of scrolled past it quickly, you'll notice there's a breakdown, a whole bunch of numbers floating around here. What this is showing you, if you sit and read this screen, it's actually showing you, depending on which selection you're looking at, 5 packs, express packs, or number kits, it's showing you how many numbers you'll use and then how many extras you'll have. For example, the number 0. To do 1 to 15 6 times, like you saw me enter, I would need 2 packs of 0. I would use 6 of those zeros, and then I would have 4 extras. That's if I did 5 packs. If I did an express pack, I would use 6 zeros, and I would have 14 extras. So you see where we're going with this. There's 3 different ways that you can do these, and if you can use the extras, then hey, more power to you. You may as well upgrade to the express pack. Regardless, once you've decided where you want to go from here, you could opt to call in your order, to hit the 800 number and call a rep and place your order, or it's actually very simple here. You can select one of these 3, and let's say I select number packs. You could click Place Order from here, and you could actually submit your order. If you weren't logged in, it would guide you through the process, or it would take you to the login screen. So that, my friends, is the number calculator. For those of you who are doing teams and such, sorry about that. For those of you who are doing teams, the number calculator is an invaluable tool because I think at some point or another we've all sat there and tried to do it the long, hard way where you've got your hash marks and you've got trying to count up, okay, here's how many 2s I need, here's how many 1s I need, and that's, if you haven't done that before, then it's an experience doing that once for a whole league. It's not fun for certain. So. And again, you saw me use the number calculator there, and I wasn't logged in. I didn't actually go log into our website ahead of time. So that's something that all of you can access, whether you're a dealer or not a dealer, whether you're logged in or not. That's something you can access. And it's transferexpress.com/tools-number-letter-calculator, or you can simply find it on our homepage. So that is the number calculator. We're going to move on to the image resizer. Now, this is more useful, again, for the people who are planning your order ahead of time in terms of sizing and trying to figure out what size you need something to be and the space you have to fit it in, and et cetera, et cetera. For example, here's an eagle head. Now, this eagle head right now is 3.7 by 3.5, roughly. But let's say I need to put it on a tote bag, a little kindergartner tote bag, but I've only got so much room to work with. I might want to resize that to figure out if my proportions all work out. But not being a math whiz, I'm not an algebra expert, I would have a hard time figuring that out just in my head. So the image resizer is there for you to resize your artwork without having to sit and do the long math. Now, the way it works is we'll enter a size, and you'll see we'll spit out a new one. So let's just cut to the chase here. Let's head out to the website. Here's our image resizer. Now, you'll notice there's instructions here, too. Right at the very top, it tells you what to do. Measure your image precisely and enter the width and height of your artwork. That's this top section here. You see where it says size of art you have, width, and height. Well, that artwork we were just looking at of that eagle was about 3.7 by 3.5. So I'm going to type in 3.7 width and 3.5 height. The next step, enter the width or height, or being the key word there, to which you want the artwork scaled. Now, you're not going to want to enter both of these numbers here. The next section down, you see size to be printed. You don't want to enter both of these because you need to know the proportions. If you enter both of them, you're just going to confuse the computer. So we're going to enter the width or the height. Well, let's say that the tote bag I'm working with, the tote bag is 8 inches tall. So I cannot make whatever I do any taller than 8 inches. So I'm going to come over here to the height, and I'm going to say 8. So then the third step, click Calculate button to get the new dimensions. And you'll notice there's a notation here. Our maximum image size for screen printed transfers is 11.25 by 14. So once I've got all that, I'm going to hit Calculate. And you'll notice, scroll back down here, you'll notice it popped that size into the width area. So I know that eagle head we were just looking at 8 inches tall would be 8.4 inches wide. So now I can make an intelligent decision based on that. Now you'll notice off to the right-hand side, for those of you, again, and this is definitely not me, my high school math teacher can verify this one. Fractions to decimals is not my forte. So you'll notice off to the right-hand side here, to make life easier for all of you who are in the same boat as I am, the off to the side here shows you the different calculations for what fraction equals what when you're trying to get precise in the area, in the boxes here. So let's see here. And you know what? I just noticed a question that popped up. I apologize for not addressing it sooner. Somebody asked about the styles, the number styles. Those samples are available on the website. The website does show you all of the different styles of numbers available on the website. I'm sorry for missing that back there. Okay, so the other way to use the image resizer here, I'm going to go ahead and click Clear to clear out all that information. The other thing we could do is we could enter that information we had started with, 3.7 by 3.5, and then we can come down here to the resize by percentage. Maybe your customer has given you this artwork and they say to you, so-and-so, I want you to make this 20% larger. Well, that's another math problem I'm not going to be able to figure out. So we can enter the size as you see it here, and we can come down here and we can say 20%, calculate, and there we have it. 20% of that size is 0.74 by 0.7. If you wanted to make it 20% larger, we would have to say 120%. So that'll take the size that we started with and make it 120% larger than that. There you go, 4.4 by 4.2. So anyhow, this image resizer here, the whole point is to help you figure out what precise size your artwork is going to be. And I'm sure we've all had the scenarios where you're printing on something you've only got so much room to work with, be it a tote bag or a hat is another good one. God knows there's tons of different types of hats and sizes of hats out there, so it's always good to know the size of what you're working with, the size of what your transfer is going to be. Make sure it fits ahead of time. There's nothing worse than getting an order and discovering, oh my gosh, I hadn't figured the sizes out, now I've got transfers that are too big. So that happens on occasion. It's good to avoid that. The image resizer is here to help you with that. And again, you notice that I didn't log in or anything. I just came right out to the website and it was here. So that's not something you have to log in to access. It's available to you right off of our main page. As a matter of fact, since we're on the website here, all these things you're seeing me do, these are off in the Help and Education section. Notice this big red bar that goes across the top of the screen? The far end here is Help and Education. All the things you're seeing me do today are under the Help and Education area. So let's go ahead and pop back out to the presentation. Okay. So now, again, the image resizer can be used on your custom artwork or ideabook artwork, whatever you need to resize. That's the whole point of that tool, to help you resize it, to know exactly what you're working with. So let's move on to the gang sheet calculator. This is sort of a similar setup to what you just saw me do with the image resizer. It's sort of the same idea. The difference is this time we're going to tell the computer what size our image is, and then the computer's going to tell us, okay, if that's the size of your image, here's how many you can put on one sheet. Now these are called gang sheets. So for example, you see the paw image at the top of the screen there. That's simply somebody could say, okay, well all I need is that paw, and I need this paw to be about, I don't know, about 2 inches by 2 inches. How many can I fit on a sheet? Well, again, I know my sheets are 11 1/4 by 14, but that's another math problem that I don't want to sit and work out. So the gang sheet calculator, when you put the size of 2 by 2 in, would tell me how many of those paws I could fit per sheet. Now, the only thing you need to do ahead of time in this case is make sure to measure the width and height of your image so we know exactly what size it is. And if you're working things out precisely, make sure you don't guesstimate. That happens from time to time, unfortunately. Somebody will place an order and tell us, oh, it's about 3 by 3. Well, when we get it and figure out that it's actually closer to 3 by 4, well, that sort of throws off the gang sheet. So if you're looking to be precise when you're pricing or you're planning an order, make sure to measure, make sure to know your sizing precisely. So let's go ahead and pop out to the website again. I'm going to click this link here. So you'll notice it looks sort of similar to the site we were just at, to the image resizer. It's a little different, though. Again, we've got the fractions and decimal conversions off to the right-hand side. Very useful tool. So this time, you'll notice there's only one box, size of your artwork. So in this case, we were just talking about that paw print piece of artwork, and I was just saying 2 by 2. So let's go ahead and follow that train of thought. We're going to say 2 inches wide by 2 inches tall. Once we've entered our sizes, we go ahead and hit calculate. And then we scroll back down here to the results. Notice it says results, number of images per sheet. Screen printed transfers, 20 up. Now you'll hear the word up from time to time if you hear a rep say that word or you see it on the website. 20 up refers to the fact there would be 20 images on a gang sheet. Okay? So for example, let's change this. Let's say we've got a rectangular image that's about, let's say it's 6 by 11, or no, let's say 5 by 11. So 11 inches wide by 5 inches tall. That's the size of a rectangular image you might see on the front of a shirt, maybe some kind of script and tail design for baseball, for example. So at 11 by 5, we're going to hit calculate, and we're going to scroll back down, and you'll notice it says screen printed transfers, 2 up. We can fit 2 per sheet in this case. All right. Notice there is a notation at the very bottom that says calculations are approximate. If size changes slightly, it could change the amount that fit up. Just like I said, you got to make sure you've got the right measurements. Don't guesstimate, because that will throw off the gang sheet. You want to make sure you're doing it right. Okay. So again, the gang sheet calculator is a fantastic tool. For those of you who've been around for a long time, you might remember we had a printout in our dealer guide way back when that was sort of a grid. You'd follow numbers across the grid to figure out how many are up. Well, it's the 21st century now. We can sort of join the computer age here, and we're going to go ahead and move to the website here instead of doing that old way of the graph and moving across numbers here. The website will help you out much more exactly than that used to do. So we're going to go ahead and go back to the presentation here. Okay, so now that is the gang sheet calculator. We're going to move on to the star of our presentation, the EasyView Designer. For those of you who are not familiar, and I know there are people out there, we have plenty of customers who've been in business with us for 3 or more years who do not use our EasyView Designer, so I'm not going to make any assumptions here. If you have not used it before, the EasyView Design tool is our way of letting you see what a design will look like after you've customized it. We have hundreds and hundreds of pre-made layouts, like the one you see on the left-hand side here, Eagle Football, which is Ideabook Layout QFB-5. We have hundreds of layouts, topics that will boggle your mind. You choose one of those layouts, and it's all well and good to tell your customer, well, you know, we'll change it to, say, Tigers Football, and it'll look the way you look, or you want it to look. But sometimes your customer needs a visual, or sometimes you need a visual. You need to see what it's going to look like. Well, the EasyView online design tool allows you to do that. You would simply select QFB-5 like we have in the example here, and you would type in Tigers, type in your clip art number for your tiger that you see on the football helmet, and it would actually show it to you, as you can see here, in color. Now, this is a tool that is exclusive to Transfer Express. We have come up with this. It's served us well over the years, and I'm going to let you in on a little secret here. The EasyView online design tool is going to go through a makeover here very soon. So those of you who have used it and you like it, but wish it was a little more interactive, I'm just going to put it out there that it's in the works. So make sure to keep checking back as soon as it happens, as soon as the new and revamped EasyView online design tool has been released. You'll be sure to see it all over our website. Just keep in mind there's cool stuff coming down the pike here. But so let's go ahead. Let's go out to the website and we'll check this out. Actually, first, this very bottom note here is important to note. This is free to all active Transfer Express dealers. This means that this is the one thing you're going to see me do today where you do actually have to log on to the website. You have to have a dealer ID and a password. If you are listening today and you do not have a dealer ID and a password, it's as simple as placing your first order with us here at Transfer Express. That first order could be $50 worth of transfers, or it could be a $15 personalized catalog. Whatever the case may be, as long as you have placed one order with us at Transfer Express, you get a dealer ID and a password that give you access to EasyView. If you do have an account with us, you have ordered, but you're not sure of what your password is, please feel free to call in to a customer service rep and we will get that for you. In the meantime here, we're going to pop out to the website. And we're just going to go to transferexpress.com. Okay, so transferexpress.com, we're going to go to login here. Just going to log into our test account here for testing purposes. All right, so now once I've logged in, there's a couple different ways to get to EasyView. My favorite way, the simple way for me, in my opinion, I'm going to click on View Layouts. You'll notice these buttons down the side of the screen here. The big blue one says View Layouts. That's what I'm going to click. This takes me to all the different categories of layouts we have here at Transfer Express, and as you can see, there are a lot of them. Since the Olympics are real big right now, sports and everything, we're just going to go to the sports section, and let's say baseball, softball. Notice there are tons to pick from, though. We're going to click on baseball, softball here. So now what it's going to do is it's going to show you all of the layouts in that category. And as you can see, there are pages upon pages. If you can imagine it, we've probably got it here somewhere. Let's stick with something simple here. Let's see if we can find something simple here. Let's do QAS22 here, this Compton All-Stars with the bat and the sunburst. So notice I just clicked on that layout, and if I scroll up a little bit, you'll see there's the layout I just clicked on. So it's showing me the way this layout looks now, and if I scroll back down, I can type in what I want it to say. Well, instead of Compton, I'm going to say Mentor, because that's where we're from, Mentor. Notice off to the side here where the font type style, where the type style says Classic, I could change that font, that type style, if I so desired. In this case, I'm just going to leave it go. And then All-Stars, I'm just going to say Champions. Then if we scroll down a little bit further, here's that baseball clip art that's in the middle of the sunburst. If we scroll back up here, we can see this baseball in the middle of the sunburst. This is where we could change that baseball if we so desired. If I click the Browse button, for example, it's going to take me out to the baseball section of the website, and we've got a ton of baseball clip arts. Let's just, for the fun of it, let's just use a different baseball. Let's use this one here. I click on the baseball I want. Now, if you knew the clip art number of that particular baseball, maybe you've got your catalog handy and you already know what baseball you wanted. We could have just typed it into this box. Or if you want to get rid of it altogether, you'll notice there is an omit button next to the clip art. There's also omit buttons next to the lines of text, if that was the case, if you needed to get rid of that. Let's say we need to get rid of that second line, actually, Champions. Maybe we didn't want Champions. Maybe we just wanted Mentor over the top. We could click this omit button next to Champions, and that line of text goes away altogether. Either way, once you've made all of your changes down here to the text and to the clip art, we want to see what it looks like. So we're going to scroll back up to the top. Now, there's two blue tabs here, single color and multicolor. So we can make this a one-color design, or we can make it a two-color design. Let's go ahead, let's live a little. Let's make it a two-color design. Primary color is the top thing here. Primary color is all of the black areas of your artwork. So if we look at this original design here, all of the black areas are the primary colors. So I'm going to change that to red. The Mentor mascot is the cardinal, so I'll say red there. The second color is the white, all of the white areas you see. That's the second color. So our second color in Mentor is white, so I'm just going to leave those areas white. And then apparel color, I'm going to go ahead and say ash. We'll say it's going to go on gray. So once you've picked out your colors, you've got all that stuff entered, you've got your text changed, your clip art changed, you've done all the things you want to do. Once you're ready, you click the Easy View button here. We're going to let the computer think for just a second. Ta-da! There we have it. There's the design we just worked up. Now, this is where you can lose yourself in Easy View, and I can tell you this from experience. When we first came out with this tool, all of us customer service reps, you can kill half an hour just sitting here playing with these layouts without a second thought. Let's say maybe you've got your customers sitting there with you. Easy View was designed with that in mind. You could have your customers sitting there with you. So let's say, okay, maybe this isn't what they're looking for. I don't like the way that looks, having omitted that second line of text. Let's go ahead and put that second line back in there. Notice that as soon as I made a change, the preview went away. That means we have to redo it. So let's say Mentor, Champions, maybe Champions isn't the word. Maybe we just want baseball. Maybe not Champions. Let's just do baseball. And maybe we don't want to say Mentor. Maybe we want to make it more specific. Maybe this is a league of some kind instead of school-related. So let's say Lake County. And perhaps, you know what, that baseball doesn't look good. That's not what I want. So I'm going to hit Browse here. I'm going to pop back out. Let's say, how about, let's see. Let's just do this very top baseball. It looks a little bit more professional. There's some detail in there. It looks good. All right. We come back up here. We're still going to do red and white on ash. We're going to click Easy View again. Just a second. There we have it. Now, this brings up an interesting notation. You'll notice that Lake County looks just a little bit squished up there in line 1. The reason for this is the online design tool is just an AI. It's an artificial intelligence. Obviously, it doesn't have any sense of aesthetics. Anything you order here using Easy View, and we'll go over ordering in just a second here when we scroll down. Anything you order here from Easy View will be reviewed by a human designer. And things like Lake County being squished, like we see on the top line there, that's something the designer is going to fix, because obviously you don't want it to look like that. So every now and then you'll notice EasyView does some silly little things because, again, it's an AI. It's not a person that can't think. So every now and then it does some little things that don't make sense, but we fix those. Anyway, once you've done all your work here, this is what I want. This is perfect. Lake County Baseball. Okay, this is what I want. We're going to scroll down. We're going to scroll past the text and clip art section we were just working in. Notice where it says Step 2 there. We're going to scroll down to Step 2. This is where you can actually order what you just did. Instead of doing all that work, getting the design the way you want it, and then maybe stopping and calling a customer service rep. Instead of doing that and placing your order over the phone, or maybe you printed it out and faxed it to us, instead of doing that, you may as well just order it right here on the website. You're already logged in. It doesn't hurt anything. So notice it takes you step by step through what we need from you. Step 1 here, quantity. That's where you just tell us the number of transfers that you want. And please note that unless otherwise noted, pieces are what will be sent. Ink formula, that just tells us whether you want our goof-proof, hot split, polytrans, glitter, ElastiPrint, etc. If this is a question you're not comfortable with, this is a good time to call and ask a rep. Or you can always choose something like goof-proof, for example, and you'll notice at the bottom here there's a note section. You could always tell us, please choose an appropriate transfer type, or let me know if this isn't an appropriate transfer type. Once you've chosen the formula, we're going to choose size: adult, heart, cap, or visor. These are just categories. Just because you choose heart size doesn't mean you're putting it on the left chest of a shirt. Maybe it's for shorts, but that just happens to be the name of the category. So we're going to choose heart size, for example. Once you've chosen the size, you'll notice this drop-down menu has changed. Now it lists the different sizes available in that category. You can switch between them. We can go over to adult instead, let's say. There's the adult sizes. So once you've chosen a size, the computer warns you here, please include the total number of images you need. And also there's a notation if you need color changes to let us know what they are. And if you want gang sheets, please tell us you want gang sheets. Regardless, at this point, we would type into the notes section any additional notes we want. You'll notice underneath that we have fabric type information, so you would tell us what type of shirt you're putting it on, just so we can make sure it's the right transfer for the right garment. And then once you've got all of that stuff ready to go, you click Add to Cart. That's it. That's the end of it. So you'll notice the EasyView design tool is fantastic. Not only do you see the artwork, not only do you see your transfer, but then you actually do the ordering right there off of the same spot. You don't have to go between anything. There's no questions. If there are questions, you can type the notes into the notes section. And as a person who does take web orders, I can tell you we read all of those notes. And if worse comes to worse, if you get that far, if you get all the way to that point, you think, gosh, I'm just not confident in something. I'm not confident in such and such a feature. You can always type into the notes, please call, and then we'll give you a call before we go and actually submit the order to the graphic design department. So that, my friends, that's EasyView in a nutshell, and I know that was a very quick description for something that's so in-depth. Like I said, we could sit here and I could play with this for half an hour and kill 30 minutes real quick without really hesitating. So for those of you who have dealer IDs and passwords, if you haven't used EasyView before, please do log on, give it a try. You'll find it's a lot of fun to use. It's really neat to see the layouts come alive, especially in color. Definitely a great tool. So we're going to go ahead and hop back to the website or the presentation here. Move on to the next topic, ready-to-print flyers. There's a couple different types of flyers we're going to talk about today. The first ones, as you can see here, are the ready-to-print flyers. Obviously, not everybody can have a marketing department. Not everyone can have a individual set aside specifically for marketing, especially if you're a mom-and-pop shop like so many of our customer base. That's the predominant amount of our customer base, actually. You're not going to have somebody specializing in marketing. So what we've done here is we've taken the guesswork out of it for you. We've made it easy for you. We've made flyers for you. All you need to do is simply download them off our website, print them out, and voila, there you have it. You have flyers you can hand out to schools, to local sports leagues, to churches, to families considering having shirts printed for family reunions. So let's go ahead and just pop right out to that website. I'm going to click this link here. So we're going to scroll down. We're going to talk about this top part a little bit later. I'm just passing it up for the moment. Scroll right down here. Notice the first one that comes up is the religious flyer. You keep going down, you see graduation flyers, you see sports flyers, and this is where I have to give props to our marketing department. Our marketing department is fantastic for this types of stuff. And you know what? I notice a question has popped up, and it's a great question. There is a save for later feature on the Easy View that we just talked about a couple minutes ago. There is a save for later feature that is in the cart once you've submitted your design into the shopping cart. You can save for later from there. But, back to the flyers here. Our marketing department has done a fantastic job of coming up with all these different flyers. Summer events, Cinco de Mayo even. So you'll see there's a ton of stuff. And what's amazing about these flyers is each flyer, they don't have our name on them. They don't say Transfer Express anywhere on any of this. It's just designs to give your customers ideas to show them what you can do for them. So if I was interested in one of these flyers, let's scroll back up here. Let's say let's say one of these graduation flyers. Maybe I'm gearing up for graduation. I know we're a little bit off here. The school's just starting, but hey. If this is what I'm interested in, I would simply click on the PDF and I would download it. I would print it out on my printer. You notice there's a bottom section that does say Transfer Express. There's a little icon of a pair of scissors there. You would cut that off of the bottom of that flyer before you hand it out to your customers. That bottom portion is just for you, so you know who we are, so you know what we can offer you in terms of shipping, that sort of thing. But so those are the flyers, folks. Those are the ready-to-print sales flyers. Now, there's a whole other step we can go in terms of these flyers. You'll notice if we come down under the baseball, softball section here, you'll notice there is the one in the middle here with the little boy holding the bat, the red jersey. If we look underneath here, you'll notice we've actually developed this flyer in a couple of options. There's a JPEG, there's a PDF, but this third option says PDF blank layout. If I were to click on that flyer, you would find that all the squares here with all these designs, they would be empty. The reason for those blank flyers is because you can customize them yourself. You could download that blank flyer, then you simply go to our Easy View design tool, work up a couple designs, and you can right-click on the design and save it, and then import it into the flyer and make your own flyer. So if you're living near the Akron Wildcats, let's say, and that's the school you're catering to, then you obviously don't want our flyer that says Compton all over it or Eagles on it. You want Akron Wildcats. So you simply download the blank PDF there, do a whole bunch of easy views of Akron Wildcats, and import those into your flyers. So we give you the tools necessary to design your own flyers. Now you do have to have the appropriate software that allows you to do that. That is the catch. And I see a question has come up about a company logo being added to the flyer. Technically, you can do whatever you want to these flyers. Once you download the JPEGs or the PDFs, adding your company logo isn't something that we have instructions step-by-step for you to do, but you can certainly do whatever you want to these. Once you've downloaded them, it's your flyer. You do what you want with it. The same way that we're importing Easy View designs into the flyer, you can certainly do that with your company logo, sure. That's totally your prerogative. So the point here is we've just given you the tools necessary to do the marketing. Now, it's up to you to get the software to actually import designs into the flyers if that's the direction you want to go. If you want to do the blank flyers, you have to make sure you do that on your own. Otherwise, we've supplied to you the flyers with the designs already in them. All you need to do is have a color printer. So a fantastic tool for certain, and I know this is something that people do ask us about on a pretty regular basis. For those of you who hadn't noticed, the section that we're in, I'm going to scroll back up to the top here. The section that we're in is the Help and Education section. It's easy to get to. It's just transferexpress.com/sales-flyers. So a fantastic opportunity here. And you'll notice this does grow. We do add to this on a regular basis. We come up with new things all the time. Our marketing department is great about that. So that is the ready-to-make sales flyers. We're going to pop back to the presentation here. Too many things open. Okay. So we're going to pop back to the presentation because the next thing is custom sales flyers. Now, I talked about the blank ones that we saw a minute ago, the idea of the blank PDFs, but there's another type of sales flyer. We've actually made a template for you for spirit flyers, or it could be fundraiser, the example you see in the picture here. This is a template you can download off of our website where you've got two easy view squares that you can put designs into. You can, we've got Westwood High School there, but you can obviously change that. We're going to pop back out to the website there since we've already got this open. So I'm going to scroll back up to the very top because this is what we skipped when I first loaded the page here. Spirit sales flyers. This is another good example. It's sort of a different approach to the same concept we were talking about below. The format here, you'll notice we've got a couple different formats depending on what you're using. PDF, Publisher, AI, CorelDRAW, Doc, either way, we've got a different format that you can use. So if I'm a Corel user, for example, I like CorelDRAW, I would download this flyer.cdr file. That would give me the blank template of what you see off to the right-hand side. I would change Westwood to Mentor High School. I would change football fundraiser. Maybe I'm doing it for a benefit for just school spirit. I would change it to spirit sale. Then I would import two of my EasyView designs. I would go to EasyView like you saw me do just a minute ago. I'd work up two designs, and then I'd import those two designs into the flyer. Then you notice here it says T-shirts $12, hoodies $20. That's customizable. Obviously, you can change that to whatever you want it to say. Colors available. All the rest of this text is totally customizable, no matter which one of these different formats you download. Now, depending on the school you're working with, there's a couple strategies here. You could just hand these flyers out as is. That'd be the end of it. You'll notice that we have a section we've customized on the bottom that could be cut off and used for an actual spirit sale. Or this can be something simply you give the school to do with as they please, and they come back to you with the sales. Regardless, whatever you've worked out with the school, we've done our best to make life easy for you. So another great idea, and this is cool because this is a fantastic opportunity for you folks. If you want to do some sort of spirit sale for the school, it's a great way to support the school, but to also make some money yourself. Depending on what your cost ends up being per shirt and per transfer, just guarantee the school that you're going to give them a certain percentage of each sale. And you can even advertise that that percentage is going to go towards the booster club or the PTA or student council or the cheerleaders or whomever the spirit sale happens to be for. Just tell the school and advertise that that percentage is going to go towards that group. So not only are you making a little bit of profit off of this, but then the school is making money too. So this is a fantastic opportunity. This is a great idea for you to endear yourself to the school. It ensures future orders. I could go on and on and on, but that's a whole other webinar topic. So this is a great tool for you all. And again, that's on the same page as the other flyers we were just looking at here, the different PDFs and blank flyers that you can download. So all sorts of flyer options, all sorts of great stuff there. Now, here is one of our best kept secrets, and it's sort of an accidental secret. I'm always surprised how many of our dealers are not aware of this. EasyPrints.com. Now, you do not want to send your customers to TransferExpress.com. Don't do it, because that gives them access to our website. They could find our phone number. They could call us. You don't want them to get a hold of TransferExpress.com. That's the website for you. EasyPrints.com, that is a website you could send your customers to. EasyPrints.com is essentially, it's like an online generic catalog. It does not anywhere say Transfer Express. It doesn't say our name, our phone number, anything. It also does not have pricing on it. EasyPrints.com is something your customers could get lost in, to look at all the designs. They could look at layouts. They could look at colors. They could look at ideas. They can get all sorts of ideas from EasyPrints.com, but they cannot order from that site. They have to come back to you. So definitely a great idea here. It's something you can also link to your website. We have a lot of our dealers that do that. EasyPrints.com is something you can link to your own website and take them there so they can see what you can offer. So let's go ahead and go to EasyPrints.com just for the heck of it here. I know it's not, I don't have a link on this slide, but just for the fun of it, we're just going to go to www.easyprints.com. So here's EasyPrints.com. Now, again, you'll notice it looks similar to the website, to our regular TransferExpress.com. It looks similar, but no matter where you go, no matter how much of this site you sit here and browse and peruse, you will never see Transfer Express. You'll never see a phone number. You'll never see pricing. So again, there's all sorts of different stuff. The customers can see what you offer. They can go through layouts. They can go through clip arts. You'll notice we've got our non-apparel section here for banners, and bumper stickers, and all sorts of stuff there. We've got a section screen printing options, full color options if you want to go the digital CAD print route. Your customer can explore all of this stuff. So we'll click on screen printing options, and it shows them examples of the regular types of screen print plus the different things that we offer here. So again, EasyPrints.com is a fantastic tool for your customer. If they want to peruse what you're capable of, if they want to see what you can do, maybe you don't want to hand them a physical catalog because, let's face it, if you give a customer a catalog, they're never going to bring it back, right? So this is a great tool to give them just that you don't have to worry about walking away with. They can go to EasyPrints.com whenever they want, see stuff, and you don't have to worry about losing a catalog. So EasyPrints.com is a great tool, and it's always up. It's amazing to me, like I said, the amount of customers that aren't aware of this and that haven't used this before. This is great. It's a free website for you. So definitely useful. I encourage you to come back and explore EasyPrints.com at some point to see what all it has available to it. There's definitely endless options here, all sorts of fun stuff. So that is EasyPrints.com. And the last online tool here is educational videos. And I should say last but not least, certainly. The video section of our website has grown exponentially recently. If you have not visited our video section in a while, please, it's probably time to come back. The video section has been totally fleshed out by our marketing department. I cannot tell you how much time and energy Sue and Stephanie and our marketing team have spent on these things, and they have done such a phenomenal job. And you'll notice that off to the right-hand side, you've got the different categories here. We've got application instructions, we've got heat press training, meaning how to use your heat press, software training. We haven't started from scratch. The software training section, you'll notice little bits and pieces on how to do specific things. For example, after I click on software training, I see create a separated outline in CorelDRAW, how to power clip in CorelDRAW. Different tools for different software packages. So we're not training you from scratch, but we're telling you how to do certain things. So that's software training. There's educational webinars. Not that I'm partial, but all of the webinars that I've done and that you've heard, you've joined, all the webinars are right there. They're there too. And then the very last section there is company news, different announcements, different new products, all sorts of fun stuff. This educational video section has all sorts of different things for you to see. For example, for those of you out there who have not heard of the Heat Press Caddy, if you have a Hotronix Auto Clam or a Max Clam, you need a Heat Press Caddy. We've got the new Caddy video that's up and viewable to show you what the newest accessory is and why you need it. But aside from that, we've, as I said, got videos for applying anything you could think of, from reversible jerseys to hats to how to apply goof-proof transfer, all sorts of fun stuff. If you have a question, odds are there's probably a video here on the website that will answer your question. So I encourage you all to definitely come out here to the video section, give it a once over, check and see if there's something educational there for you. So definitely come check out our video section. Okay, and the selling calendar. I had totally forgotten about the selling calendar. Oh, shame on me. The selling calendar is a new feature, something that our marketing department has puzzled over and worked on. The selling calendar is a site or a page on the site that gives you ideas on things you could be marketing and selling depending on what time of year it is. Because I'm not sure about you guys, but I know our business is very much based on the seasons. In baseball season, we're going to do a heck of a lot more business than we are in different seasons. And all of us, depending on how our shops are set up, are in those same positions. Maybe your busiest season, maybe your reputation is based off of family reunions. Maybe every summer you get slammed for family reunion t-shirts. Then that's that season for you. Either way, the selling calendar is broken up by month, and we're going to pop out to the site and see it here. The selling calendar is broken up by month, and it's going to give you ideas on different things. For example, January inspirations, February inspirations, March inspirations, spring into sales. So if we scroll down here to August, August, there's only one thing in August, that's schools. School sports, school profits. August is that magical time of year where schools need all their spirit wear, the marching band, the soccer team, the cheerleaders, the umbrellas for the spirit shop. There's all sorts of stuff. And the point of this calendar is to show you things that you could be gearing yourself towards, things that you can be selling, people you can be approaching, sales you could be getting this particular time of year. So you'll notice in August we've got all these school sports ideas up here. So let's go ahead and hit the back button and we'll explore another section here. Let's say September. September is another section where we see, oh yeah, signature shirts. Signature shirts are real big in September. That's when those sorts of things start to get into gear. Also notice we've got some ideas for just general middle school stuff. So anyway, you'll notice that each of these sections is geared towards generating business during that month. So this is, again, a great tool to help you. If you're new to this part of the industry, you're not sure 100% what you're doing yet, maybe you've got that dead time of year. Every shop has that downtime where the customers aren't walking in your door quite as regularly. This is a great way to look at it. This is a great spot to come to and say, okay, well, if my sales are slow primarily during October, where it's after school's already started but before the holiday season, maybe October is your slow time of year, this is where you would come to get some ideas on who you could be selling to. And you'll notice not only these pictures, I've been focused on the pictures here, but off to the right-hand side, we've got a whole bunch of different, a couple paragraphs of information on what you could be doing. So again, this is just another tool to help you be successful. That's our goal. We want you to be successful. Where did my mouse go? There we are. Okay, so with all of these things being said, friends, that is it for this webinar. If there are any questions out there, Jody, if you're still with us, were there any questions we can get to here?
Yep, we have just a couple questions, actually. Erica wanted to know the price range of the customized layouts and if there's a quantity discount.
That, Erica, is a fantastic question that would take more than just a minute to answer. The price range is complicated because it is based on the number of colors and then the number of pieces you're printing. So I can't give you a general range because it's completely dependent upon the size, the color, and the quantity. But that is the sort of question we can easily answer for you either on our website. Our website has the pricing at transferexpress.com, or simply call a rep and we'll give you any sort of breakdown if you give us an idea of what you're looking for.
And here's a quick one. Do you include the number of gang sheets and the number of pieces?
When you're doing the online ordering, the best thing to do when you get to that note section and you're trying to figure out your gang sheet situation or how many pieces you're ordering, flat out tell us, I need 200 pieces, I want gang sheets. And then we'll do the math and figure out how many gang sheets to send you for those 200 pieces. If you spell out for us how many you're looking for and that you want gang sheets, we'll take care of the hard stuff for you.
And Ron would like to know, what is the best DTP software to use? He said he's just beginning.
You know what? The DTP software part, I am actually not able to help you with quite so much there. We don't do the DTP stuff here at Transfer Express, so I can't exactly help you with that part. But if you're looking for the screen printed transfers, though, I can definitely suggest EasyView. If you're looking to get into the graphic design end of things, that's a whole other topic. We use CorelDRAW here at Transfer Express, but DTP software is not something I can speak to there, Ron.
And we actually here, excuse me, Andy, at Great Garment Graphics, Ron, we did just host several. Stephen from Imprintables Warehouse typically does a lot of software webinars, so he's just done CorelDRAW 5 and CorelDRAW 6 in the last couple months. And upcoming is our Wear Studio, and that's for Rhinestone Designs. So, Ron, if you look in our archives, you should be able to find, I don't know necessarily if it's the software you're looking for, but we do a lot on CorelDRAW and also on Stahls ID Direct. We have actual, in the educational section, we have, what's the word I'm looking for, actual notes on step-by-step ways in how to create things in Corel. And yes, Ron, we will have a copy of this webinar available for viewing. It should be up either later today or first thing in the morning. And then the last thing Myra wants to know is if you have a video on how to charge for vinyl.
How to charge for vinyl. You know what? We don't have a video on how to charge, actually.
For anything, right?
No. The theory, or not the theory, the formula is this, Myra. The way we look at it is whether you're doing digital or you're doing screen print, you can typically, and this isn't a firm rule, but you can typically, whatever you're paying us per piece, you can usually double that, and that will be what you charge. Now, there's questions about how do I include my garments, or do I include labor? Those are questions that you sort of have to answer for yourself, but generally the value of a transfer can be double what you have paid us. Now, there are dealers who choose to go a little bit less than that, a little bit more than that, because obviously I can't speak to Myra, I can't speak to the competition you have in your area and how they're doing their pricing. But that's a good starting point, a good place to begin is double the value of what you paid us. Okay. Well, thank you, everybody, for your questions. If there's anything we missed, you will get a personal email from us. I'd like to point out to everybody that the next Great Garment Graphics webinar is a CAD Cut live Q&A. That should be really cool. That's August 14th. I will be back with you in September on the 13th for fall trends for the school year. And I want to remind everybody of the D3 event that's going to be here in Cleveland. We've got the Lander Haven Ballroom set aside for us. If you're familiar with the area, it is quite nice. But make sure to hit transferexpress.com. We'll have details about it coming up soon. So thank you so much, everybody, for attending today. Thank you, Jody, for being here with me. And I hope everybody has a fantastic rest of your day.
Thank you too, Andy. And everyone from Great Garment Graphics, make it a great day.